Well, welcome back from that break. Now we are getting into this conversation and probably asking the relevant answers about this particular exercise. Standing right to me here is Mr. Etiang. I don't know what he actually does, but we are going to be able to ask him a few questions, and it will help us actually throw some insight on some of them. Good to have you, Mr. Etiang.
A pleasure.
And maybe for someone who is watching, you will definitely want to know what are you doing in this particular place and probably what's going on here.
Okay, first called Etiang Vincent, working with the Updf. I'm a clinician with the Updf. Yes, and everybody you're seeing here are health personnel, the health workers from different organizations. We have the Updf, we have the prison service. Some of them are not in uniform. Also, we have members of Ministry of Health, and also other well-wishers, not forgetting the Red Cross. They're also here giving a service.
Well, we definitely want to know, when did this particular exercise started? Because we very well understand it is one of the, the guidelines that the president actually talked about for people to be able to get vaccinated so that we can see a full reopening of the economy and different other things. How has been the exercise conducted, and how is the response of the people?
Yeah, thank you. The exercise kick-started actually in early March, this year. Yeah, it has been ongoing, though silently. Some people have not been very aware, so that's why we have tried to make sure that we're actually in bigger areas where they can be accessed. Like here, we are the Old Park, which is very accessible. However, the exercise has been ongoing from March in health centers, even other community areas. We have been reaching people. Yes.
So we want to understand, when someone gets here, what are some of the processes or procedures that they go through for them to be able to actually get vaccinated?
Sure. We are having here a very organized community. So first, we are having an area where you're received and you have to consent. Okay. Yes, we are going to give you health education and you understand exactly what vaccine you're getting and why. Why is they used?
I know. Do we have different vaccines in this particular place? Yes. And what are some of the things that you look at if you are to give a particular vaccine to someone?
First of all, when you look at the area, we can show you on camera. We have the receiving area, where they consent and are given forms to fill. From that side, they'll be going to the data area where they are entered into the system, and then they come to this section where we are giving the vaccines. Right. Yes. And that's the waiting area where they'll wait for their forms. Yeah, their cards. Most of them call them white cards.
So yes. I really want to understand.
What's happening is they have to understand that we have different vaccines. Okay. Yes, we received Pfizer, we have AstraZeneca, and we had Sinovac, which is not now there. Yes, we gave to the teachers, but they're coming for second jab. I'm sure we're receiving it very soon. So we are receiving all the population from 18 years and above. Okay. And it's also safe for pregnant mothers and also those who are breastfeeding. Right. Yeah, we are receiving them, and we have specific vaccines we are giving to them.
So if we have a pregnant mother, what kind of vaccine is being administered to them?
We are administering to them Pfizer vaccine.
Is it a available. 1 dose?
No. It's a 2 dose.
It's a 2 dose?
Yes.
So if someone is coming in for the second dose and probably they got a first dose somewhere else, is there any preparation for them to actually receive them, and where do they get those that dose from?
No, if you have received the first dose from anywhere, definitely there's identification. You have a form. Okay. Or you have something that will show us that actually you received the first jab. So when you come here, we shall clear you and get your second jab from anywhere, even outside the country, as long as we have information that shows you have received the first jab. You'll get your second jab.
How long does the entire process take? Because one thing I know, we are into an area whereby people are on their work and they don't want to spend a lot of time in one place. Probably if one walks into this particular place and they're receiving their first dose, how long does it take them to get their card?
Oh, we are very organized here. The process is so organized. You don't even spend here more than 10 minutes. Yes, because from the receiving end, we have the manpower. We have people who are here to serve. Okay. As soon as you're done, you go straight to the data area, come in for the vaccine, go to the waiting area and receive your card, and you're free to leave and go to your workplace. However, this is one thing I've been cautioning people. We need to monitor you after the vaccine. So you ideally want you to rest for at least 30 minutes.
In this particular
But
place?
yes, however, people are always in a rush. But you can wait. But just the process takes a very short time. Less than 10 minutes, you're done. However, you need to rest for at least 30 minutes so that we can monitor you, how you're responding to the vaccine.
There are also other, misconceptions and rumors and myths about vaccines that are being administered to people. I really want to understand, how have you been able to actually contain those? People have a lot of fears that if I get vaccinated, I'm not going to be able to do this and this and this. It has some side effects. And I think that is the reason as to why people have not come out to get vaccinated, those that are not yet here. What are you doing to see that you clear out all those myths?
Thank you. We have actually been receiving those questions because from the consent area where we are receiving them, those are the questions we are getting because we health educate them. We have to consent, understand what they are getting, and what you can tell to the public is these vaccines are safe.
Okay.
Yes, it is just false, wrong stories taken out there, especially on social media about these vaccines. But we have been receiving this. First of all, you should know that we have received this kind of pandemic before in 1918. Those of you who are on Google, you can go and get that information. So again, this was attended to. Yes. So it's not something new that most people are preaching out there that the vaccine has come to stop them from giving birth. Others are talking about impotence. They're talking a lot of stories about cancers, but it's not true. Exactly. Yes, yeah.
I really maybe the other thing I'll definitely end with is probably there are certain people who say we have a number of people who get cards that that show that they are vaccinated, yet they are not vaccinated. Where do they get access to these cards from? If at all you are in position to give us a response.
Thanks. In that case, anything is possible, but in our system, we're able to track our cards. We know our serial numbers. So out there, if there are people who are doing that, who are manufacturing cards of that nature, we are going to try and curb them. However, in our areas where we are truly vaccinating from, we are able to track their serial numbers and we know the exact people and they're in our system. So those people will be tracked. They'll be good because we may not have their serial numbers in our system. Yes. So the people we have in our system ideally are the right people who have received the vaccine. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Itiag. I will definitely leave you to go and attend to different other duties, but the chit chat still continues, and we are here in this particular place to find out quite a lot of different things about, the adherence to get vaccinated from the general public, and probably how people are responding to it as well. Thank you so much, sir. Good. All right. We are here still again to get people's minds and views. But next to me is a gentleman who is going to introduce himself to us, and we find out what does he do in this place and maybe answer a few questions still about what we are talking about. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Maybe our names and what you definitely
I'm called Nachivinga James, and I head the data team, the people collecting the data in the old taxi park site for vaccination.
So first of all, concerning data, this is where we want us to start from. Looking at the numbers in this place, how many people have been so far vaccinated? Maybe an estimate of them, looking at the number that we're looking at to vaccinate.
On average, in a week we work on 10,000 people. Like every week, every end of the week, roughly 10,000 people at this site alone.
So which particular kind of people are looked at? From which age to what age are being vaccinated so far?
We don't discriminate. We work on all age groups. As long as you're 18 and above, you'll be vaccinated.
So we understand that there are very many vaccines that are being administered in this particular place. And how can someone get to understand that this particular one is not good for me? Or what are some of the procedures that are being taken to see that someone receives a specific kind of vaccine?
Now, when you come to the site, at first they introduce you to what you're going to be vaccinated with. Now, pregnant mothers and maybe breastfeeding mothers are given special consideration in that they're given Pfizer vaccine. But everyone else, they can get the AstraZeneca vaccine.
All the doses that are being given here of vaccines are two kind of dose, kind of setting. So no one receives a one kind of jab.
No, you receive like one kind because you're supposed to get one type of vaccine. Yes, we don't mix.
So if someone got vaccinated maybe somewhere else and got Pfizer and they come in this particular place, can they be given, let's say, AstraZeneca?
No, that's not possible. It's not advised by the Ministry of Health, so we can't do that.
So, maybe the other thing we'll definitely talk about is data entry here. We've seen a lot of cases in the community whereby someone has a card, but they say we are not vaccinated. How is that being dealt with and how does it happen?
Like you see, when you come here, your records are taken and then you're registered in a register. Those books at the end of the exercise are taken and entered into the system. So it takes some time. So you can complain maybe you're not there when you haven't been entered yet. But at the end of the day, your data will be entered into the system.
My question is for people who have those cards but they are not vaccinated, how do they do it?
Oh, no, the card is useless because at the end of this exercise, a certificate is generated by the Ministry of Health servers, which will show as proof of vaccination. So having a card without you being into the system is useless at the end of the day because it won't help you in future. You'll need a certificate for that.
Interesting. There is something that is so much important, most especially in this particular exercise of vaccination, and that is, I think, what we call confidence and trust in these vaccines. People have had different misconceptions and fears to actually come out and get vaccinated. Looking at the numbers that you are talking about that are being vaccinated on a weekly basis, how have you been able to actually mobilize all these people to have trust and confidence to actually come and get vaccinated regardless of the misconceptions?
We have very many partners who help us with mobilization. We have the Red Cross, we have Uganda breweries. They help with mobilizing people around the town and they try to debunk those myths that are going around about the vaccines, because personally I was vaccinated and nothing has happened to me yet.
Of course, I think the side effects and maybe the myths that we pick from social media have been looked at as maybe a factor to letting people not get vaccinated. And if at all you look at it as an individual, do you think this is something that has maybe held other people home not to get vaccinated?
Yeah, it is, but then that's social media. Not everything that's there is true, so you should get vaccinated and then see for yourself that nothing is going to happen to you.
So maybe lastly, when is this particular exercise going to end? Because people need to know if at all I'm around this place, I can walk in anytime. Till when?
The old taxi park is open indefinitely because it gives people easy access. People in the downtown, they can easily access it and we work on them very fast. So they can come very early and they leave very early and go back to work. So it's indefinite for now.
Wow. Thank you so much. I think we'll definitely let you go and do a couple of things as well. We're still moving on with the chit chat. If we are told you're still home and you've not yet gotten vaccinated, this is the time for you to definitely come through and get vaccinated, because you never know. Time is going to come when these vaccines are not yet even in place, or they are no longer in place, but you need to move out, either out of the country, or you need to access any government or official documentations as well, and this particular certificate will be required from you. So you can definitely use this particular opportunity to come and get vaccinated. You never know what will happen tomorrow or the other day.